Okay, so this is our day 2 on this very special and unique course on GST audit finalization and revenue finding techniques. Okay, so in our last session, just give me a single second. So let's start our discussion on this day 2 on GST audit finalization and revenue finding techniques. Okay. Before moving ahead, in our last session, we have started our discussion from the core concept that how we can initiate the GST audit in a specific way. First, we need to gain the knowledge about the business pattern. First, we need to gain knowledge about the business industry knowledge so that we can get the idea about the applicable provisions of GST law. Okay, so that we can go with the audit in a very effective and efficient way. After that, we have started our discussion on certain finalization related techniques that to finalize the GST audit in an effective way, how we are going to check the GST return. Okay, or we have also understand the concept and the importance of value of supply in GST. आज हम लोग place of supply पे भी बात करेंगे, आज हम लोग time of supply पे भी बात करेंगे. But in our last session we have already covered the value of supply, that what is the importance of value of supply while doing the GST audit. Reconciliations is important, but there are certain other points, other aspects are also there from the provision perspective. That is my value, that is my time, that is my place of supply, and while doing that GST audit we need to be very much focused on that aspect as well. Okay, so after that, we have started our discussion on the value of supply, and we have taken certain examples related to the importance of the value of supply while doing the GST audit. Also, we have covered certain practical examples related to section number 16 subsection 2. हम लोगों ने ये देखा था कि section number 16 subsection 2 की वो condition, that is गुड्स रिसीव होने के बाद ही आप इनपुट क्लेम कर सकते हो, उससे रिलेटेड एग्जांपल और उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस क्या होगी व्हाइल डूइंग माय जीएसटी ऑडिट, वो भी हम लोगों ने कवर कर लिया था. नाउ इन आवर टुडेज सेशन वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट certain key points related to GST audit. Okay, and also we'll discuss about certain parameters while doing the GST audit. We'll discuss about certain specific points related to construction industry and all that. Okay, and we'll cover the finalization and revenue finding techniques simultaneously. Okay, there is no any separation is there, so that you can easily interlink all the concepts. Now, and also I request to all of you that if you have any question, any query, any doubt, in that case just put the same in the chat box. I am here to provide the solution. Okay, also one important information is there that I am coming to Mumbai on 11th of May. So if anyone wants to invite me in their office for discussion related to their practical aspect of GST audit, you want to discuss any case with me, in that case I will be freely available on 11th of May at Mumbai. So this is just the information. If you want to discuss certain thing related to your team, in that case I am ready to come. Now we'll discuss on certain key matters related to GST. So I just want your 100% focus. Just the same rules which we have in our last session. If you have any question, any doubt, any point, don't wait for the last moment. Just raise the question in the chat box. Immediately we'll take your query. Okay. You all have already received this PDF file. Also, you will get the recording of this session very soon. Within 1 to 2 days, you will get the recording as well. And this is a certificate course, so you will receive the certificate as well from the Batuk Academy and from CA Club India, whatever will be your platform. Now, we are going to discuss on certain key points while doing the GST audit. और यहाँ पर इस sheet में for your reference, I have given the issue, How you can check that issue? Now this is the biggest problem, that sir, this is the point, but the question is that how we can verify that particular point. So I have pointed out the relevant points or table of GSTR 9, GSTR 3B, GSTR 9C, so that you can easily find out that particular thing while doing the GST audit. You can easily check these type of returns while doing the GST audit. Also, we'll discuss about the things what you need to check physically from the books of accounts of that particular person. Okay, now we'll discuss one by one the key issue. I am not going to discuss about the reference point because point is there. You just need to check the GSTR 9 ka relevant point so that you will get idea about that particular thing. But we'll discuss about what the thing which you need to check in the physical documentation. Okay. So our first point is that whether the kind of outward supply like taxable, exempted, zero rated, nil rated supply to special economic zone, developer deemed export are appropriately classified or not, that you need to ensure. अगर उस बंदे ने शो कर दिया while checking the financial statement of that particular person or of that audit, you found there is certain exempted supplies also there, taxable supplies also there, non GST supplies also there, nil rated is also there. These four type of supplies are there in the financial statement of the auditee. In that case, you just need to ensure yourself कि उसने जो exempted supply शेयर की है, that exempted supply is actually exempted supply. कहीं उसने ऐसा तो नहीं किया है टैक्सेबल वाला कोई फिगर एग्जेम्प्टेड में ट्रांसफर कर दिया हो. फॉर दैट पर्पस आई हैव ऑलरेडी शेयर द ट्रिक्स विथ यू, that you just need to demand the item wise list of the exempted sales. And when you will demand the item wise list, you just need to check that this item is exempted, this item is exempted, this item is exempted, so that you can easily identify the manipulation if any. Okay, so we first need to find out that the classification is proper related to taxable, exempted. अब उससे होगा क्या? I just need to analyze the impact. उससे होगा क्या? आप सोचोगे कि एक इम्पैक्ट तो ये आ गया कि मेरा टैक्सेबल अगर मैं एग्जेम्प्ट में ट्रांसफर कर दूं, इन दैट केस उस बंदे ने टैक्स का पेमेंट नहीं किया. दैट विल द इम्पैक्ट. सेकेंड इम्पैक्ट, if that particular person is eligible for GST refund, in that case, due to that classification, the refund calculation will be wrong, or there may be chances of wrong availment of refund. So this is the second effect. So we need to be very much careful that this is a very small point that we need to identify the sales. To check the classification from taxation perspective, there is one more aspect is there, which is refund. But जब हम लोग audit करते हैं ना, at that time हम क्या करते हैं? Yes, this is the sales from profit and loss account. This is exempted sales. This is taxable sales. This is non-GST sales. Okay कर देते हैं. We are not going to check the classification. कई बार हमको ऐसा लगता है कि अगर हम लोग क्लासिफिकेशन चेक करेंगे, इन दैट केस इट विल टेक टाइम. नो, इट विल not take any time, any much time. You just need to require, or you just need to demand the list of exempted supply, the product list with the value, so that you can easily identify the sales quantum. Okay, so from that perspective, you just need to check the sample basis pe invoice and bill of supply. In case of exempted, you will find out the bill of supply. Also, when that person is saying that this is my exempted supply, okay, in that case, this is the key point. You just need to demand the sample invoices as well. Sir, if possible, then just prepare the notes as well. For the exempted supply, you just need to demand the sample invoices. On that invoices, you just need to check that that person has shown bill of supply only. कहीं उसने वहां पे टैक्स इनवॉइस तो शो नहीं कर दिया है. That is what is the problem. Because इस जीएसटी ऑडिट का, बिकॉज जीएसटी काउंसिल हैज आल्सो क्लेरिफाइड कि हमारा पर्पस केवल रेवेन्यू फाइंडिंग नहीं है थ्रू दिस जीएसटी ऑडिट. अवर पर्पस इज टू मेक द कंप्लायंसेस, और जो कंप्लायंसेस के लेवल पे डिफॉल्ट हो रहे हैं उसको सही करवाना भी हमारा एक पर्सपेक्टिव है यहां पर इस जीएसटी ऑडिट के थ्रू. Now we'll check the GST rate notification as well, exemption notification. If that person is showing that this particular product is exempted, in that case we just need to cross verify the same through the exemption notification. HSN and SSC code we are going to check, and for that purpose how you are going to verify? How you are going to verify? For that purpose I am just going to give you the idea. When you will check the GSTR1 return, when you will check the GSTR1 return, that person is submitting the detail related to HSN code wise detail. You just need to check the HSN code, that there is any exempted product is there is any non-GST supplies there, or you can easily identify through the HSN code that this product is my exempted, this product is not fall under the GST liability. You also need to check the contract. Sir, why there is requirement of contract? Because when you are checking the books of accounts or financial statement of a particular person, जब आप किसी बंदे के financial statement check कर रहे हो from GST audit perspective, at the same time if you found certain type of sales to special economic zone, you all know the concept of special economic zone. There is certain area which is classified as a special economic zone, and if you are going to make any supply to the special economic zone, that means if the taxpayer is going to make any supply to the special economic zone, in that case that supply will be treated as zero rated supply. But there is one condition. हम लोग क्या करते हैं while doing the GST audit? Because मैं आपकी बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, in many scenarios I found this particular type of things, okay? Because हम लोगों को सिखाया यही गया है कि यार reconciliation check कर लो, everything is fine, everything is okay. Okay, now suppose in the financial statement that person has shown certain supply to special economic zone, that person has shown certain supply to special economic zone. In that case you just need to cross verify that if there is any sales to the special economic zone, in that case the sale will be classified as zero rated supply, but the sale will be classified as zero rated supply only and only after that the sales is to be used for the authorized operation. The sales is to be used for the authorized operation. अगर वो बंदा उस प्रोडक्ट को, उस सर्विस को authorized operation के लिए काम में नहीं ले रहा है, in that case the zero rated applicability will not be there. That means suppose you are doing the audit of Mr. Sachin. Sachin has made a particular supply of services to a particular industry which is situated or located in special economic zone. In that case, Sachin has charged zero rate. Okay. Sachin has shown the same in the financial statement as well. Now, when you will do the audit of Mr. Sachin, at that time, you just need to check that whatever type of services provided by the Mr. Sachin to special economic zone is for the authorized operation or not. And if that particular services are not for the authorized operation, in that case, the zero rated will not be here. This supply is to be considered as taxable. So there is a specific term that whenever you are going to check the books of accounts of a person, and if that person has made any supply to the special economic zone, in that case, just check that this supply is for authorized operation or not. Up, sir, now point is that how we can ensure ourselves that this is the authorized operation and this is not the authorized operation. For that purpose, you just need to demand the list of the authorized operation from that particular taxpayer, which is received by the taxpayer from the special economic zone and which is certified by the committee of the special economic zone. Is that okay? This is the one point which plays a very important role related to the special economic zone. Suppose if there is certain deemed export, what do you mean by this deemed export? Sir, once confirm me in the chat box that this concept is okay for you related to special economic zone, and what do you think you need to check in this case. Have you got the point? आज आप लोगों को कमेंट्स थोड़े से फास्ट करने पड़ेंगे, because these are the very relevant point which you need to check while finalizing the GST audit. Yes sir, any query? Or may I take the deemed export? Authorized services list will be issued by the Special Economic Zone Committee. For that purpose, that taxpayer is going to provide the services. Suppose in that particular list, Special Economic Zone Committee has authorized that the taxation related services is covered under this, but I have provided any business consultancy related services. In that case, that service should not be as a zero rated. That service should be taxable. Okay. So from that perspective, we need to check that particular list. Yes, yes, Nilesh ji, I will definitely take your query. थोड़ी सी बड़ी query है, but we'll read it after the concept. Okay, जैसे ही मेरा एक concept complete हो जाएगा, I will take that query definitely. And I'm suggesting everyone that if you have any question, any doubt, then you are free to raise the same in the chat box. Okay, and post this session, if you have any question, you may connect with me over WhatsApp. There is no issue with that. और आज भी अगर आपकी query को इतनी बड़ी होगी, in that case we may discuss over WhatsApp or call. So, deemed export. In case of deemed export, suppose Mr. X is going to export a particular product outside India. It's okay. Outside India, export. Okay. If Mr. X is going to make any export and for manufacturing that particular product, X has to buy certain things. Okay. Or X is going to buy that particular product from Mr. Sachin. He is in domestic market. In that case, Sachin is going to supply that particular product to Mr. X. Okay. X यहाँ पर सचिन को क्या बोलेगा कि सचिन आई एम गोइंग टू मेक दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट एक्सपोर्ट, सो यू शुड नॉट चार्ज द नॉर्मल रेट ऑफ जीएसटी, यू जस्ट नीड टू चार्ज द रेट ऑफ जीएसटी एट 0.10% एंड दिस शुड बी क्लासिफाइड एज डीम्ड एक्सपोर्ट. Is that okay? This is the provision which is there in GST. There is no problem with that. Okay. Now, point is that what I want to convey with you. Suppose आप सचिन की ऑडिट कर रहे हो और while doing the audit of Mr. Sachin, you have found a specific sales which is rate 0.10%. In that case आपको सचिन को बुलाना है, सचिन भैया इधर आ जाओ, आपने ये सप्लाई किया 0.10% वाला, आपके पास में क्या डॉक्यूमेंट है, प्लीज प्रोवाइड अस द रिलेवेंट डॉक्यूमेंट रिलेटेड टू दिस स्पेसिफिक सप्लाई एट द रेट ऑफ 0.10%. At that time, Sachin will submit you. You just need to take care that Sachin will submit you the copy of LUT of Mr. X. There is also one requirement of declaration from Mr. X related to that X will export that product in 90 days. Also, there is requirement the IEC code of Mr. X. These three documents are mandatory in case of deemed export. अब होता क्या है, we have taken that LUT, taken that declaration and taken that IEC code वाला registration, but उससे आगे हमने कोई कार्यवाही नहीं की. We have not started any other proceedings after that. आपको करना क्या है, you just need to verify through the IEC get portal, through the IEC code number that that particular Mr. X person has made the export or not. कई बार क्या होता है, these documents are fake. To identify and to verify the genuineness of the documents, you can take the help of IEC get website. You can easily check the same that that person has made the sales outside India or not. You just need to satisfy yourself about this. अगर क्वांटम छोटा सा है, in that case it's okay, हम लोग डॉक्यूमेंट देख के satisfy हो जाएंगे. but there is a huge quantum of sales at the rate of 0.10%. In that case, this is an indication that we need to check. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है बीच में 5-7 इनवॉइसेस जो एट द रेट ऑफ 18% वाली थी वो 0.10% वाली में डाल दी. Okay, because while doing the audit we need to check each and everything from suspicion. Okay, so this is the concept of deemed export from the contract checking. Okay, that means we are going to verify the same from documents. So there are total 2 points which plays a very important role whenever you will find out a special economic zone or when you will find out the deemed export. In that case you should be very much careful. Okay, now related to export, when the person is saying that I have made that supply outside India, in that case you need to demand the shipping bill and the bill of export. और shipping bill और bill of export से भी कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. You have to check the data, cross verify the data from the IEC get portal. जब तक आप इससे चेक नहीं कर लो आप सेटिस्फाई नहीं होगे. ओके, और इन केस ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट हमने कल भी डिस्कस किया था. इन केस ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट यू आल्सो नीड टू वेरीफाई दैट द प्रोसीडिंग्स आर रिसीव्ड इन द फॉरेन एक्सचेंज. ओके, विद इन द रिलेवेंट टाइम. अगर वो फॉरेक्स के अंदर अमाउंट नहीं आया है, इन दैट केस देयर इज अ सिग्निफिकेंट इंडिकेशन. In case of export without payment of tax, we have to check the duty draw, that is the letter of undertaking, that is LUT, and we can verify the same through the GSTN common portal. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है बिना LUT के ही वो एक्सपोर्ट किए जा रहा है. So we need to verify the same. Duty drawback availed or not, we can check the same through the books of accounts. When we'll check the books of accounts, there is a specific entries there related to duty drawback or not. Or if that person has availed the duty drawback at higher rate, in that case that person will not be eligible to file any refund application. This is to be checked. Okay, whenever you will check the shipping bill, whenever you will check the shipping bill, you will find out the duty drawback at higher rate, at lower rate. And if that person is claimed the drawback at higher rate, in that case you just need to ensure yourself the refund has not been claimed. Payment received, we need to verify. In case of supply related to exempted, taxable, whatever will be type of supply, we just need to ensure that that person is receiving the amount or not. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है. मैंने इसलिए आप लोगों को बोला था we are going to demand two list as wise हम लोग दो लिस्ट उससे डिमांड करने वाले हैं. One is my debtor, another is my creditor. Okay, now you will say that sir, creditor we are demanding from the perspective of section number 16 subsection 2 का proviso. That means that person has made the payment to the supplier or not within 180 days. In that case reversal of ITC हमको ये check करना है. Now what you will do from this debtor की list, इस list से आप क्या करने वाले हो? So from this list we just need to verify that whatever type of sales that person has made is genuine or not. That means that person is receiving the amount from the debtors or not on account of that particular sales. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कोई debtor वहां पर बहुत पुराने अमाउंट से खड़ा है, उससे कोई अमाउंट आ ही नहीं रहा है. Taxpayer is not receiving a single amount from that particular debtor. So this is also an indication for us to check the genuineness. So we need to demand the age-wise list of debtors and creditors. Please take note of it. Composite and mixed supply, we have to check that this particular supply is to be classified as composite supply and mixed supply. Because why there is requirement to check the composite supply? Suppose सबसे पहला काम हमारा क्या था? We are going to verify the nature of the particular business entity and nature of the product in which that industry is going to deal. Okay, now when you will analyze the nature, at the same time you found that this person is dealing is composite and mixed supply as well. Okay, that person is selling the combos, that person is selling the combos. इन दैट केस आपके दिमाग में एक क्वेश्चन आना चाहिए कि ये कॉम्बो मिक्स सप्लाई होगा या फिर कंपोजिट सप्लाई होगा. ओके, बिकॉज देयर इज अ इम्प्लीकेशन ऑफ रेट. व्हाई? will understand the concept as well. If a particular supply is to be treated as composite supply, in that case, the rate of GST will be as per the principal product. But if the particular supply is to be classified as mixed supply, in that case, the rate of GST will be applicable at the higher rate. Whatever will be the rate high will be taken for the consideration. So while doing the GST audit, suppose you are going to do the audit of a particular person. सपोज आप सचिन की ऑडिट कर लो, पूरी की पूरी कर लो इन 2 दिनों में. So you are doing the audit of Mr. Sachin, and Sachin is providing the services related to the training. Okay, training classes related to services is going to provide by the Sachin, and Sachin has launched one specific course. In that course, Sachin is going to provide the classes for 3 days on the GST law. Okay, and with that classes, Sachin is going to provide one physical book. In that case, now you need to decide that this particular supply is a composite supply or a mixed supply, and accordingly you have to decide the taxability. Okay, now the 3 days classes is my taxable, but the physical book is my exempted. अगर मैं खाली physical book किसी को सेल करूं, in that case no GST will be applicable. But I am going to provide that physical book with that classes, and I have charged the rupees of 3,000 for 3 days. This is the fees with the cost of physical material. In that case, this supply is to be classified as composite supply. This supply is to be classified as composite supply because क्लासेस के साथ वो मर्ज है, उसको मैं इंडिविजुअली सेल कर सकता हूं. देयर इज नो इश्यू विद दैट. बट विद this course is incomplete without that particular book. Okay, so this is to be classified as composite supply, and on the complete 3,000 rupees GST will be applicable at the rate of principal supply. That means on the training classes, that is 18%. नाउ अब यहां पर होता क्या, सपोज उस टैक्स पेड ने 2 क्लासिफिकेशन कर दिए. उसने बोला 2,000 rupees is for the my classes and 1,000 is the book. In that case, while doing the GST audit, you have to identify these type of supply, that sir, you are providing the complete combo. This is combo, so this would be classified as a composite supply. Okay, this is naturally bundled. Hence, the GST should be charged on complete 3,000 rupees. You are not selling individually the book. If you are going to sell that book individually, in that case, GST will not be charged, because the same is to be classified as the exempted supply. So whenever you are going to check, first initiate with the nature, and through that nature you just need to identify there is any combo is available or not. Suppose AC repairing or AC installation की services, उसने AC सेल किया प्लस वो installation services भी provide करवा रहा है. In that case, this should be classified as a composite supply. GST will be applicable on the whole amount. Okay, so how we are going to identify these things related to composite supply and mixed supply? So this is my first key point. I expect reply from each and everyone that this first key point is okay for everyone or not. And also, are you enjoying the session? कोई बोर तो नहीं हो रहा है? संडे को इनवाइट किया है मैंने आप लोगों को. Yes, everyone. This question is not for 2 to 3 participants. This question is for all of the participants. Now, next question. Whether any activity or transaction which fall within the scope of supply has not been identified by the registered person. Sir, can I ask you one question? You all are very Gyani people. Okay. When the GST will be charged. This is my question to all of you, that GST कब लगेगा? Please provide the answer in one word. Fast. When the GST will be charged? Yes, GST will be charged on the supply. So when you will start the GST audit, जब आप उस बंदे की audit start कर रहे हो, at that time you first need to verify all the activities or transactions of that particular person. कि भाई तू करता क्या है? Are you providing the training classes? जैसे मेरी audit कर रहे हो, are you providing the training classes? Are you selling the books? Are you providing the consultancy services? Are you providing the services related to the various type of audits? These are the activity which is there in my business. Now you need to decide that all these type of activities is fall under the definition of supply, so GST will be applicable all these particular type of supply. Now suppose you are doing the audit of a manufacturing industry. In that case you need to ask the same question and you need to verify about the activities and transactions. You just need to check, sir आप क्या करते हो? Sir आप raw material खरीदते हो? Then after you are going to manufacturing process के लिए you need to ask that manufacturing process is in house or you are going to outsource this manufacturing process. There is certain other packing related aspects are also there. There is any selling department is there, and who is handle your marketing related work. So all these type of activities are there. Now you need to decide that what type of activity will fall under the definition of supply, and accordingly we are going to decide the chargeability of GST, because the first point for taxation is my supply. पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी और ट्रांजेक्शन इज टू बी क्लासिफाई एज सप्लाई. उसके बाद मैं देखूंगा वैल्यू क्या होगी, वो एग्जेम्प्टेड है नहीं है, व्हाट विल बी द टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई, व्हाट विल बी द प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई. ऑल द थिंग्स I'm going to check later on, but first we need to identify that this particular transaction or activity is a supply or not. Or for identification of the thing, for identification of that specific thing, I just need to identify that what type of activities are there. ओके वहां पर कौन कौन सी कितने प्रकार की एक्टिविटीज है. फर्स्ट आई नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग. ओके Krishan ji, your question is related to solar panel. Solar panel pe I have one specific video. In that video, I have described the complete condition of selling the solar with battery, without battery. What will be the rate of GST applicable? It should be classified as works contract or not. All the things I have covered in that particular video. So we'll provide you that video definitely by tomorrow morning. Okay. Although we'll share that particular video to all of you. Is that okay, Krishan ji? So your all doubt will be solved that it should be classified as works contract or not. क्या वो connected होता है, land से connected है, उसमें क्या implication होगा, with battery, without battery, all the things has already been covered in that video. So your doubt will be resolved 100%. Now, for that activity or transaction, I am going to check the invoice, the contract, the consideration received. Also, I need to check the analysis of cash flow and the business purpose or not. These things I have to verify for that activity or transaction. Next, whether supply has been correctly classified as interstate or intra-state, I have to check. This is also an important thing. When you will do the business audit or departmental audit of a particular client, at that time, this is the concept of place of supply. Now, suppose just I am going to share with you one example, and after that we'll discuss the concept. Okay. Suppose you are doing the audit of Sachin Jain. ओके, नाउ आप मेरी बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स चेक कर रहे हो, आप मेरे जीएसटी के रिटर्न्स चेक कर रहे हो, आर यू चेकिंग माय बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स एंड माय जीएसटी रिटर्न? एट दैट टाइम सपोज आई हैव टेकन वन session or I have provided one specific service, consultancy related service. Okay, in that case I have charged IGST and paid the same to the government. And this supply is related to financial year 2021 and you are doing the audit of mine for 2021. Okay, now as per your opinion or as per law, your opinion nahi, as per law, in this specific case CGST and SGST should be charged. Okay, in this specific situation CGST and SGST is to be charged, but wrongly I have charged the IGST in this specific situation. Now during 24-25 आप लोग आ गए और आप लोगों ने बोला सचिन वी आर गोइंग टू डू द ऑडिट, ओके, ऑफ योर फॉर्म, ऑफ योर कंसर्न. मैंने बोला सर कुछ है तो नहीं, क्या ऑडिट करोगे, कुछ कमाई वमाई है नहीं, आप क्या ऑडिट करोगे? आपने कहा नहीं करनी है, ठीक है, दैट्स ओके, डू इट. सो नाउ पॉइंट इज दैट अब आप वो ऑडिट कर रहे हो और ड्यूरिंग 2024-25 you identified that there is a specific such a supply on which Sachin has charged IGST, but in this specific situation CGST and SGST should be charged, and the value was I have provided 10 lakh rupees की services. I have taken a consideration of 10 lakh rupees and paid 1,80,000 rupees to the government under IGST head. Now point is that आपने बोला सचिन आपने आईजीएसटी चार्ज कर दिया विच इज रॉन्ग एज पर द प्रोविजन. नाउ यू हैव टू रिवर्स दैट आईजीएसटी, दैट मींस नाउ यू हैव टू पे सीजीएसटी एंड एसजीएसटी 90,000. मैंने बोला चलो गलत पे कर दिया, ओके आई एम रेडी टू पे दैट 90,000 and 90,000. What about the 1,80,000 rupees which I have paid under IGST? आप बोलोगे for that you have to file the refund application, but to file the refund application the timeline has already lapsed. उस 1,80,000 रुपीज की टाइमलाइन चली गई है एंड फॉर दिस 90,000 यू हैव टू पे बिकॉज यू हैव नॉट पेड द टैक्स अंडर सीजीएसटी एंड एसजीएसटी हेड. दिस इज द implication of a silly mistake related to the place of supply, and this is the point which we need to check while analyzing the place of supply. Hence I am saying that reconciliation is important, but with that reconciliation certain law related provisions are also required. Now for place of supply, for deciding the place of supply you need to refer certain sections. I am just going to share with you the certain sections. Also if you demand then I will provide you the recorded version of these sections for your purpose. Okay, you can check the same, very simplified we have explained the place of supply, how you can decide. So whenever you are doing the GST audit of a particular taxpayer, sample basis, on sample basis you just need to check the place of supply. For that purpose you just need to demand, sir what type of documents we need to demand. So in that case you just need to demand the sales list with GSTN and address, so that you can easily get the idea about. अगर यहाँ पर कोई बिल टू शिप टू मॉडल होगा तो भी आपको पता चल जाएगा from the address, and through that address if there is any diversion you can ask the question from the taxpayer, and if taxpayer will provide you the data related to bill to ship to model, is that completely okay? So these things you have to check through the sales, GSTN and the address. Now for deciding the correct place of supply, मैंने बोल दिया सर चेक करना है, आईजीएसटी की जगह सी और एसजीएसटी लग गया, अब उसको डिसाइड कैसे करेंगे? फॉर दैट पर्पस यू हैव टू टेक रेफरेंस ऑफ 3 सेक्शंस. ओके, यू हैव टू टेक रेफरेंस ऑफ 3 सेक्शंस. बहुत छोटी छोटी सी सेक्शंस है और बहुत ही अच्छी सेक्शंस है, बहुत ही प्यारी सेक्शन है. सेक्शन नंबर 10, सेक्शन नंबर 11, सेक्शन नंबर 12 ऑफ आईजीएसटी एक्ट. ओके, these are the sections. As per section number 12 of IGST Act, I am just going to briefly explain the normal concept. As per section number 12 of IGST Act, उसमें लिखा गया है if the recipient is registered in that case the place of recipient will be treated as place of supply. और उन्होंने लिखा if the recipient is not registered but you have the address of that recipient, in that case that address will be treated as place of supply. And third condition उन्होंने लिख दी, if recipient is unregistered and you have no idea about the address of that particular recipient, is that case supplier ka place will be treated as place of supply. That means CGST and SGST should be charged. This is the situation. Now, in section number 12, subsection number 3, उन्होंने यहां पर टोटल 14 स्पेसिफिक सिचुएशन दे दी. And in that specific situation, they have declared the place of supply separately. उन्होंने बोला normal जो हमारे पास में provision applicable होगा, that will be this. But in case of special situation, in case of specific situation, which will cover under section number 12, subsection 3 of IGST Act, you have to refer the specific decision related to the place of supply. So while doing the GST audit, you need to be very much careful about these sections and how you are going to identify. उसके लिए मैंने आपको बता दिया कि you need to check the sales, you need to check the GSTN, you need to check the address so that you can easily identify. But for the provisions, you have to take the reference of the section number 10, 11 and 12 of the IGST Act. If you require, I will provide you the link of recorded video for that as well for your reference. Okay. Now, सर लगे हाथों एक और कॉन्सेप्ट डिस्कस कर लेते हैं related to reverse charge mechanism, RCM. Okay. This is my question from you, that I am a taxable person. आप सचिन की ऑडिट कर रहे हो. Okay. While doing my audit, you find out certain RCM related entries. Okay. So this is my question to all of you, that in case of RCM, whether IGST should be charged, whether CGST should be charged, whether SGST should be charged. This is my question from all of you. Please provide reply in the chat box, that in case of reverse charge mechanism, in case of interstate supply, चलो थोड़ा सा easy कर देते हैं क्वेश्चन को. In case of interstate supply, that means Rajasthan and Gujarat, Rajasthan and Maharashtra, in that case IGST is to be charged, CGST or SGST is to be charged. Whatever type of tax is to be charged, just confirm me in the chat box. As per your opinion, IGST should be charged. Okay. This view is also correct. But as per my opinion, I am just going to share this thing. As per my opinion, in case of interstate supply, C and SGST should be charged. Why? Because as a taxpayer, as a Mr. Sachin, when I am paying any tax under reverse charge mechanism, when I am paying any tax under reverse charge mechanism, in that case, government has clearly, specifically mentioned one line that in case of reverse charge mechanism, Mr. Sachin, you have to prepare self-invoicing. You have to prepare the self invoicing. और जब गवर्नमेंट ने बोला मिस्टर सचिन यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर द सेल्फ इनवॉइसिंग, और व्हेन आई एम प्रिपेयरिंग सेल्फ इनवॉइसिंग, दैट मींस इट शुड बी ट्रीटेड दैट आई एम प्रोवाइडिंग सर्विसेज टू माय सेल्फ, hence I am going to pay the tax to government and claim the credit. When I himself preparing the invoices, himself providing the services, himself claiming the input tax credit and himself paying the tax, in that case the place of supply is to be treated as the place which is my registered place, hence CGST and SGST should be charged. This is my logic. And in future, if there will be any big litigation, in that case, I suppose that Honorable High Court, Supreme Court will also take care of this particular type of logic, because with RCM, they use the word that is self-invoicing. You have to prepare the invoice. Hence, CGST and SGST should be charged. This is my logic. एग्री करते हैं क्या आप मेरे लॉजिक को? आर यू एग्री विथ माय लॉजिक? Now, for the interstate supply and intra-state supply, you can check the invoice and bill of supply, the party-wise supply address, contract, transportation documents, and whether B2B or B2C is case of supply of services. We are going to check these particular type of things in case of inter and intra-state. Now, what is the treatment? This is the third point. Okay, now what is the treatment of promotional items given free to end consumers? Now, when you will check the financial statement of the taxpayer, suppose you are checking the financial statement of Sachin, and in that case, you found out certain entries related to advertisement. You have checked the profit and loss account and you have found one specific entry, that is advertisement expenditure. Okay, sales promotion related expenditure. In that case, you have to check that Mr. Sachin has already reversed the input tax credit on account of that advertisement expenditure or sales promotion expenditure, yes or not. अगर उसने इनपुट क्लेम कर रखी है, if Mr. Sachin has already claimed the input tax credit on the advertisement expenditure and the sales promotion expenditure, in that case the same should be reversed during the business audit. Mr. Sachin will argue with you that this is my business expenditure. This sales promotion is only and only for the business promotion, for providing the services to multiple people. मैं advertisement नहीं करूंगा तो आप लोगों को मेरे courses की information कैसे मिलेगी? How you will get the information of my courses? मुझे Facebook पे ad चलाना पड़ेगा, मुझे Insta पे ad चलाना पड़ेगा, and due to that I will get the participants in my classes, and then after I will pay you the output tax. But if there will be any sales promotion related expenditure, any advertisement related expenditure, in that case you will not be eligible to claim the input tax credit because the same is blocked. Okay, so we just need to check the financial statement from that perspective as well while doing the business audit. I suppose this point you all will check. Okay, and you all are already checking whether the zero rated supply is verified as per the provision of law. You just need to check that if there is a zero rated supply, in that case, this is as per the provision of law or not. Sir, what type of supply is to be classified as zero rated supply? One is my export. Without payment of tax, and another is my supply to special economic zone. These two type of supplies to be classified as zero rated. So whenever you are going to find out any zero rated supply in the books of accounts, in that case you just need to verify that if this is an export, in that case data is to be reconciled with the IEC get portal. You need to check the shipping bill and all those things. If there is any special economic zone related supply, in that case you have to check that these things are for the authorized operation or not. There is any service contract or agreement is there between the special economic zone and between the taxpayer, which is existent or not. These two things we need to verify for the zero rated supply. Next, whether supply of capital goods has been subjected to GST and as to whether the same has been included while filing the GST return. वो मैंने आप अभी हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे ऑल्दो ऑन दी पार्ट ऑफ बैलेंस शीट. सो व्हेन यू आर चेकिंग द fixed assets chart, okay, you just need to demand the fixed assets chart from the client as well. Fixed assets chart, You can take the same from the फॉर्म नंबर 3CD. फॉर्म नंबर 3CD दैट इज माय टैक्स ऑडिट रिपोर्ट. उस टैक्स ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में से आप लोग फॉर्म fixed assets chart को देख सकते हैं. Through the analysis of fixed assets chart, if you find out any specific entry related to sales of a fixed assets, if there is any sales of any fixed assets, in that case you just need to ensure that the GST has already been paid on that particular sales or not. Okay, we just need to check that GST has already been paid or not. वहां पर if there will be any sale of car, okay, suppose, because this is the biggest issue which will be there in many cases, you will find out this particular type of thing, that the taxpayer has sold the car during the period under audit. In that case, suppose the WDV of the car is 5 lakh rupees and taxpayer has sold the car for 6 lakh rupees. In that case, can you please tell me on which amount I have to check for GST? WDV of the car is 5 lakh rupees and selling price is 6 lakh rupees. In that case, what will be the amount on which I have to check for the GST applicability? Just comment me once in the chat box. I'm expecting reply from each and everyone. GST will be applicable on the margin money, that is on the 1 lakh rupees at the rate of 18%. So we need to check this particular type of thing in case of fixed assets as well. Okay. How I can verify fixed asset schedule ke through? If there is any contract, I can check the same. Ledger account of fixed assets, plant and machinery, ledger account of scrap. We also need to check the TCS and bank statement related to the receipt of the payment. Now, next point related to classification of the supply. You have to check that that person has classified, the proper classification is there related to supply of goods or supply of services. Now, you will say that agar similar rate hai, suppose on supply of goods and supply of services, the rate of GST is applicable at the rate of 18% on that specific supply. Now your question will be that, sir, इसका क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा, मैं क्यों उस क्लासिफिकेशन को चेक करूं, व्हाई आई नीड टू चेक द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ दैट सप्लाई, व्हाट इज द रिलेवेंस ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग. ओके, सो the relevance is that, as we know, in case of advances, I am trying to share with you the relevance of the key points as well, so that you can easily identify the relevance. Okay, also this particular table is issued by the GST Council for the GST officers. Okay, I have just analyzed the same and prepared the table. So these all things are from the governmental authorities. Okay, so point is that in case of services, if there will be any advance received by the taxpayer, GST will be applicable. But if there will be any supply of the goods, in that case, on account of advances, on account of goods, no GST will be applicable. So agar yahan par koi classification galat ho gaya, if there will be any wrong classification, in that case, advances पे GST. अगर कोई supply of service है, but that person is going to claim that this is a supply of goods and I have received an advances of 50 crore rupees for that particular thing. In that case, GST is not applicable. So in that case, you have to check the nature of that particular supply as per schedule number 2 of CGST Act. Okay, suppose I am providing the consultancy related services and I am also author of multiple books. Okay, now I am selling the books प्लस आई एम प्रोवाइडिंग द ट्रेनिंग सर्विसेज. अभी मैं ट्रेनिंग सर्विसेज ही इसमें मैं कवर करता हूं. आई एम प्रोवाइडिंग द ट्रेनिंग सर्विसेज एज वेल. ओके, सपोज आई हैव रिसीव्ड एडवांस ऑफ रुपीज 1 लाख. मेरे 50 करोड़ की बात नहीं करनी, मेरा अभी छोटा काम है. आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट 1 लाख. ओके, So I have received the advance of rupees 1 lakh and I have not paid any GST on that particular figure now. आप लोगों ने ऑडिट स्टार्ट कर दी, आप लोग आए सचिन, you have received this 1 lakh rupees and you have not paid one GST on that. मैंने आपसे ये आर्ग्यू किया, दिस 1 lakh rupees is advance on account of goods, that means on supply of my books, so there is no requirement to pay any GST on that particular type of goods. Now for that purpose you need to demand the invoice, you need to demand the contract, you need to demand the agreement for the sales, कि मैं उसको बुक सेल करने वाला हूं या फिर मैं उसको ट्रेनिंग सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करवाने वाला हूं. इस पे अगर आपको पता चला, इस पे while doing all the analysis and while doing that agreement, checking agreement and all those things, cross party confirmation, और आपको ये पता चल गया कि सचिन has taken this 1 lakh rupees as advance for one specific session, for one specific training section, and for that purpose the total price is 5 lakh rupees and Sachin has received 1 lakh rupees at advance, and in this particular session Sachin is going to provide the training classes plus books. In that case the same should be classified as composite supply and GST will be applicable on this 1 lakh rupees. This is the impact of the classification of goods and services. Hence we need to specifically take care of schedule number 2 of the GST Act. Now I suppose this concept is also okay for you. 1 घंटा हो गया, 1 hour already done. So are you getting the concepts? Are you enjoying the session? Just comment me once in the chat box so that are there any transaction wherein goods sent for job work are not received back? This is also we need to verify related to the job work. Okay, suppose you found that the person is also involved in the job work. In that case, first the thing which you need to check is the ITC 04. Form ITC 04 you have to check very carefully in case of job work that that person has filed the ITC 04 form or not. Okay, now you also need to check that if that particular person has sent the particular goods on job work and that person has not received the goods within 6 months, in that case the same is to be treated as supply. So when you will demand the job work register, job work challan sheet, in that case you just need to ensure that when that particular person has sent that goods for job work and when that person has received the goods from the job worker, or if you found that this entry is pending and the time is already lapsed for 6 months, in that case you need to classify the same as sales and GST is to be charged on that particular type of supply. कई बार होता क्या है, we are demanding the job work register, we are checking जस्ट फ्रॉम द कंप्लायंसेस पर्सपेक्टिव, हम उसको उस पर्सपेक्टिव से नहीं देखते हैं कि वो जो जॉब वर्क पे माल भेजा है वो अगर वापस नहीं आएगा, इन दैट केस व्हाट विल बी द इंपैक्ट, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू चेक दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग. बट as per my opinion, as per my suggestion, we also need to very much careful for that particular point as well. Okay, so now आपका क्वेश्चन ये होगा, सर एक एक एंट्री को हम कैसे चेक करने के लिए बैठेंगे? सो फॉर दैट पर्पस जस्ट डिमांड दैट जॉब वर्क चालान रजिस्टर और जॉब वर्क शीट इन एक्सेल, or you may demand it in PDF and convert the same into Excel, and then after you just need to provide one filter on the dates. When you will put the filter over the date, in that case you can easily identify that यहाँ पर मैंने filter put कर दिया है. Now मुझे पता चल जाएगा कब वो गुड्स भेजा था, कौन सा गुड्स है जो 6 महीने से पहले का भेजा हुआ है, बट द टैक्सपेयर हैज नॉट रिसीव्ड द सेम. इन दैट केस वी हैव टू चेक दैट दिस हैज बीन बुक्ड एज अ सेल्स और नॉट, और अगर उसने बुक नहीं किया है, इन दैट केस while doing the audit we are going to book as sales and charge GST at respective rate. Whether any business assets has been permanently disposed of for which input tax credit has been availed. Sir, आपको याद रहेगा वो शेड्यूल नंबर 1 ऑफ CGST एक्ट, And as per schedule number 1 of CGST Act, there are certain type of activities or transactions on which GST will be applicable, whether there is any consideration or no consideration. यहाँ पर कोई कंसिडरेशन है या फिर कंसिडरेशन नहीं है तो भी उसके ऊपर जीएसटी एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा ऑन दी ट्रांजेक्शंस और एक्टिविटीज विच इज मेंशन्ड इन शेड्यूल 1. एंड द फर्स्ट थिंग which is that when you will dispose of any business assets, in that case GST will be applicable. You have to charge the GST on that disposal of the business assets if that person has claimed the input tax credit. Suppose you are doing the audit of Sachin and ड्यूरिंग द पीरियड अंडर ऑडिट मैंने वहां पर कोई एसेट्स जो है डिस्पोज ऑफ किए है, ओके। और जब मैंने एसेट्स को डिस्पोज ऑफ की ना, तो मैंने एक लॉस बुक किया, लॉस फॉर डिस्पोजल अराउंड 2000 रुपीज। मैंने मेरी बुक्स में आई हैव बुक द लॉस ऑफ रुपीज 2000 ऑन द लॉस ऑफ डिस्पोजल ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर असेट्स। आप लोग आ गए, ओके। आप लोगों ने कहा मिस्टर सचिन यू हैव बुक्ड वन लॉस ऑफ 2000 रुपीज इन योर बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ डिस्पोजल ऑफ द बिजनेस एसेट्स। नाउ व्हाट अबाउट जीएसटी? मैं बोलूंगा सर जब लॉस हुआ है, लॉस बुक किया है, इन दैट केस किस पे आप जीएसटी लोगे, किस बात का जीएसटी? मेरा तो 2000 पे घाटा हुआ है, आप मेरे को 18% दे दो ऑन दिस 2000 रुपीज, ओके, बिकॉज दिस इज अ लॉस नेगेटिव फिगर। At the same time, your line will be that, Mr. Sachin, when you have bought that particular fixed assets or business assets, at that time you have claimed the input tax credit because you have already checked the same through the invoice. अगर मैंने उस समय इनपुट नहीं क्लेम की होगी, in that case डिस्पोजल पे कोई जीएसटी चार्ज नहीं होगा. But at the time of buying of that particular fixed assets, if I have claimed the input tax credit, in that case reversal is required. So now आपको बोलना है सचिन, when you bought that particular business assets, at that time you have already claimed the input tax credit. Now you are going to dispose of that particular assets. तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ हाँ सर डिस्पोज किया, उसको जलाया है, खत्म किया है. So we are going to charge GST on that. Now value कैसे हम लेकर के आएंगे? So for calculation of value we have various valuation rules. Rule number 27 till rule number 31 will decide the value of that business assets and will charge GST on that, whether there is a consideration or no consideration, because this is fall under the definition of schedule 1. So when you will check the financial statement of a taxpayer, then just check there is any loss booked or not on account of sale of any business assets or dispose of any business assets, because as per schedule 1, if there will be any disposal of the business assets, GST will be applicable whether there is a consideration or no consideration. Whenever there is a supply to the distinct person or related party, in that case also GST will be applicable. If there is any supply between principal and agent, in that case also GST will be applicable whether there is any consideration or no consideration. We are going to decide the value through rule number 27 till rule number 31. Whether related person and distinct person in the registered person have been identified and check the transaction value. ये शायद कॉन्सेप्ट हम लोगों ने कल के सेशन में भी डिस्कस कर लिया था. फ्रॉम द 3CD we can easily check the related parties, and if there is any transaction with the related party, in that case we have to check the value of supply, because manipulation is possible, and I have already shared the example of manipulation, that how they are going to make the manipulation. If there is any agent appointed and if there is any supply between the principal and agent, in that case also confirm that this supply is on the value which is as per rule number 29 of CGST rules. Okay. At the end of our today's session, we'll discuss on one important reconciliation tool as well, because nowadays the biggest problem for the GST officers and while doing the GST audit is that there is one problem is that how we are going to reconcile the GSTR 2B. For that purpose, we have prepared one reconciliation tool of the reconciliation between the input tax credit, which is available on GSTN portal and in the books of accounts, and also there are various analytical tools are available in that tool as well. So we'll discuss on that as well. This is just for your information. Now, whether any foreign exchange has been remitted outside India, on import of services. Now, as we all know, in case of import of goods or services, GST will be applicable under reverse charge mechanism. Okay, in case of import. Now, there may be chances that taxpayer is not going to report that import in the books of accounts. वो books of accounts में import record करे ही नहीं, क्योंकि उसको RCM पे करना पड़ जाएगा. तो बंदा सोच रहा है ऑलरेडी आई हैव अ बैलेंस ऑफ इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट, नाउ इफ आई एम गोइंग टू मेक द पेमेंट ऑफ आरसीएम, देन आल्सो आई हैव टू क्लेम द इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट, सो देयर शुड बी accumulation of input tax credit and I am not eligible for the refund as well. So can I skip that particular import from the books of accounts? तो उसने क्या किया, यहाँ पर import skip कर दिया. Suppose you are doing the audit of Sachin and Sachin has taken certain services का import. Sachin has taken certain services from the outside India. In that case, this is sure that Sachin has to remit certain amount to the outside India. Okay. और आप जब मेरी बुक्स देख रहे हो, आपको कोई foreign outward remittance मिला. You found one specific thing that is foreign outward remittance, and I have posted the same into my drawings because I don't want to show the same in the books of accounts. So I have put the same in the capital account and I have put the same in my drawings that I have paid this amount for my personal purposes. That is my that is foreign outward remittance. At that time, you just need to demand the copy of invoices for that outward remittance. और उस time अगर उस invoices की copy से अगर आपको ये पता चलता है, you found that fact that this is just an import of services, Sachin has taken certain services from outside India, in that case GST will be applicable under reverse charge mechanism. Is that okay? This example is okay for you? Just confirm me in the chat box. So when we are analyzing the financial statement of the client, we also need to check the capital account of the client, of the taxpayer, so that if there will be any manipulation, we can easily identify through the analysis of that capital account. Whether goods for business have been put to personal use, we also need to check. अगर उसने personal use के लिए उस goods को काम में लिया है, in that case rule number 42, 43 will be applicable regarding reversal. Okay. Now, suppose you have found out certain buying of AC through the books of accounts, और आपने check किया already there is 3 AC in the fixed assets chart and the business premises is very small. In that case, fourth AC का वहां पर consumption की जगह ही नहीं है. That means this AC is used for the personal purpose. So here we need to use our logic. Just हमने check किया there is already bought 2 mobile phone and which is there in the fixed assets chart. Now during the period under audit, 2 other mobile phone is also bought. That means this is for the personal use. So input tax credit is to be reversed. So how we are going to identify? For that identification purpose, we need to follow certain techniques. Whether the RCM has already been paid on the inward supply, already we have covered as per section number 9, subsection 3. There is a list of goods and services on which RCM is to be applicable. Now for that purpose, government has specifically provided one list of goods and one list of services on which RCM is applicable. Section number 9, subsection 3 of the CGST Act. So you just need to ensure that while checking the financial statement of the particular taxpayer, just you need to check the financial statement, that is trading and profit and loss account. And when you will check the trading, manufacturing and profit and loss account, at that time you just need to ensure there is any buying of any specific goods which is fall under this list, which is mentioned in section number 9, subsection 3 of the CGST Act. And also you need to check there is any expenditure which is booked, which is there in the section number 9, subsection 3. And in that case, you have to check that RCM has already been paid or not. For services, just an example of legal expenditure, just an example of freight, just an example of director fees. Okay. So all these type of things are to be fall under the definition of RCM. In case of goods, you can there is any purchase of tendu leaves, there is any purchase of raw cotton, there is any purchase of second-hand vehicles from the government, in that case RCM will be applicable. So for that purpose you just need to refer the section number 9 subsection 3 key list, and in that particular list you just need to confirm that on that particular type of goods and services RCM has already been paid by the taxpayer or not. Whether the tax has already been paid on the advance received or not, we have already done this particular point. Whether any credit note issued for supply paid, in that case we just need to check the proper reversal of input tax credit by the counterparty. Suppose you are doing the audit, of Mr. Sachin Jain, and Sachin Jain has issued certain credit note for reduction in output credit. Reduction in outward tax. So in that specific situation, we just need to confirm that proper credit note has already been issued and the input reversal has already been done by the buyer. Counterparty का input का reversal. For that purpose, we may take the counterparty confirmation. We may take the confirmation. We may take the ledger copy, and we may check the GSTR3B return for the respective month for the reversal, so that we can easily identify the genuineness of the credit note. Krishanji, if the particular person has a truck and that person is gaining any income from the truck, in that case, we just need to ensure that if the rental income, that is the freight related income, is more than the specific limit which is mentioned in the GST for taking the GST registration, in that case, GSTN is required and that person has to take the GST registration. Then after this is completely depend on that particular truck owner, that that person is going to opt for the forward supply wala scheme or reverse charge wala scheme. That will be completely depend on that particular person, but GST number is to be taken if the turnover is exceeds with the specific limit. Is that okay, Krishan ji? Key points for value of supply. Certain other key points are there. We are going to discuss on that. Krishan ji, your doubt is okay? Whether the transaction value is in accordance with the terms of the contract or not, for that purpose we need to ensure this specific thing. Okay, and for the transaction value we just need to ensure that if the seller and buyer is not the related party and price is the sole consideration, in that case whatever will be the transaction value will be treated as the taxable value and uske upar GST applicable ho jayega. If there will be any discount allowed, if there will be any discount allowed, in that case we just need to check that this discount is at the time of invoice or before invoice, then that invoice is to be treated as trade invoiced. Trade discount. And if the discount is decided after invoice, in that case that discount is to be treated as financial discount. So whenever you will check any credit note, because you will get the idea from the GSTR1 return, when you will analyze the GSTR1 return, and if you found any credit note on account of discount, because we just need to demand the list of each and every credit note and the reason of that credit note. और अगर वहां पर reason में मेरे को ये मिलता है कि this credit note is on account of the discount, in that case I just need to ensure that this discount has already been decided at the time of invoice or before invoice. For that purpose, I may check the invoice of that particular period. If there is any discount which is post the particular invoice, in that case, that discount is to be treated as the financial discount. In that case, GST value cannot be reduced. That means that person cannot reduce the output tax, cannot reduce the output tax in that specific situation. In case of financial discount, only taxable value is going to adjust. There will be no effect on the tax figure in case of financial discount. So we need to be very much careful in case of discount. Yes, Krishanji, in that case, GST will be applicable on the freight income which is received by that particular person. For that purpose, you just need to ensure that that person has taken the forward wala option or the RCM wala option. That means the buyer will pay the GST or the supplier is going to make the payment of the GST. Although that person has to make the payment of GST at the rate of 5% at least, if the RCM is going to be paid by the recipient. Just the condition is that that person has taken the GST registration for the individual name. Yes, नीलेश जी, मैं एक एग्जांपल और ले लेता हूं. There is total two type of discount is there. Okay. In case if the person has issued, output का मैंने इफेक्ट आपको बता दिया. In case of trade discount, आउटपुट टैक्स पे रिडक्शन पॉसिबल है, बट इन केस ऑफ फाइनेंशियल डिस्काउंट आउटपुट टैक्स पे रिडक्शन नहीं होगा. द सेम implication will be on the input tax credit. If the discount is trade discount, that means the terms has already been decided at the time of invoice. In that case, the same is to be treated as my trade discount. And in that scenario, when the discount is to be classified as trade discount, in that case, input is to be reversed by the counterparty. But if the discount is in nature of financial discount, that means terms has not been decided. In that case, that discount के केस में input का reversal नहीं होगा. No reversal of input tax credit. Now, suppose there is one specific situation. In that case, I have sales my services to a specific person. Suppose I am going to provide my services to Nilesh ji. Okay. और मैंने नीलेश जी को बोला कि ड्यूरिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर ईयर इफ यू आर गोइंग टू मेक सेल ऑफ माय सर्विसेज इन द मार्केट एंड द वैल्यू विल एक्सीड बाय 5 लाख रुपीस, इन दैट केस आई विल प्रोवाइड यू अ डिस्काउंट ऑफ 10%, दैट इज 50,000 rupees. In that case, the terms has already been decided at the time of invoice at the or prior to invoice. Hence, this discount is always treated as the trade discount. And in that case, I am going to reduce my output tax and Nilesh ji has to reverse the input tax credit on that particular amount if the invoice has already been prepared. Is that okay for Nilesh ji and for everyone? This discount wala concept from output perspective and from input perspective. Nilesh ji, is that okay? If there is any amount that the supplier is liable to pay, whether any amount that the supplier is liable to pay but incurred by the purchaser has been included in the value of supply, we just need to ensure. Suppose I have made a particular supply of a service. Okay. Suppose the service price is 1,000 rupees, and for availing that particular type of services, there is requirement of one software which is 100 rupees. Okay. And I have to provide that particular thing, but I have sold that particular service to Krishanji. Okay. And that's 100 rupee payment is done by the Krishanji. In that case, I have to add that 100 rupees and GST will be charged on this 1100 rupees if there will be any payment made by the buyer on behalf of the supplier. In that case, that will be part of the taxable value. So when you will check the transaction value, at the same time randomly you have to ensure about this specific factor as well. If there is any interest or late fees is there for the delayed payment, in that case ensure that GST will be applicable on that. इसीलिए मैंने बोला था when you will analyze the financial statement of the taxpayer, in that case you just need to ensure through the analysis of the financial statement that if there is any interest related income in the financial statement, if there is any interest related income in the financial statement, in that case we just need to ensure that this interest is my financial interest or this interest is my trade interest. How I can identify the trade interest? Suppose I have made a supply to Mr. X for 1 lakh rupees और वहां पर एक टर्म था कि X has to make the payment within 3 months, and if X is not going to make the payment within 3 months, in that case I am going to charge the interest at the rate of 18%. Okay, so suppose उसने मुझे 2 महीने लेट पेमेंट किया and the interest amount is 5,000 rupees and I have received that interest amount. In that case GST will be applicable on that 5,000 as well. So when you will check the financial statement, if there is any interest income, just demand the bifurcation from financial interest perspective and the trade interest perspective. And for the trade interest, you just need to ensure that GST has already been paid or not, because this is termed as a supply. Whether there are supporting documents are available for the credit notes, हम लोगों ने discuss कर लिया. For the debit note, we also need to check whether terms of credit contract detail any consideration flowing from the third party. If there is any consideration from the third party, in that case there is requirement of the contract and agreement. Without contract and agreement, we are not going to entertain that particular thing, that this payment is received from that particular person. Suppose I have provided my services to Nilesh ji, but I have received the payment from Mr. X. In that specific scenario, when GST audit will come and auditor will ask कि नीलेश जी का तो पेमेंट अभी तक ड्यू ही है या फिर वहां पर आपने X अकाउंट को सेट ऑफ किया गया, because they are going to demand the ledger. You have provided the services to Nilesh ji and you have received the payment from Mr. X. Why? If I am going to provide the contract or agreement for that particular thing, in that case you will satisfy for that. और अगर मैं आप उस पेमेंट से सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो, if I am not able to provide you any agreement, in that case this is just a settlement related entry. मैंने उस अकाउंट को सेटल करने के लिए वहां पर एंट्री पोस्ट कर दी है ताकि वो ऑडिटर की नजर में नहीं आए, ताकि वो स्किप हो जाए. दैट इज व्हाट इज द लॉजिक. So whenever you will check the ledger account, you also need to check the ledgers randomly of debtor and creditors. ये मैंने आपको already बोला है. Whether the taxpayer has engaged in supplies to related person, in case of section number 15 हम लोगों ने discuss कर लिया. In case of principal agent, in case of related party transactions, we have to focus on the valuation rules. We are going to decide the value as per valuation rule number 28, 29. If there is any supply which is the consideration is not wholly in money, in that case we have to take reference of rule number 27 of CGST Act. Suppose I am going to provide my services to Mr. X and the price is 10,000 rupees. I am going to receive 5,000 rupees in cash and 5,000 rupees के लिए I have received one product, one electronic pen. Okay, in that case I have to decide the value as per rule number 27 of the CGST rules. Whether any exchange offer or scheme is offered by the taxpayer, in that case also valuation will be done by the valuation rule 27 of the CGST rules. So this is the importance of value. प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई की इंपॉर्टेंस भी मैंने आपको बताया. टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई के लिए मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया था. वी नीड टू चेक द परचेज रजिस्टर एट द लास्ट डे ऑफ मंथ. इफ देयर इज एनी गुड्स व्हिच इज रिसीव्ड, इन दैट केस टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई we need to decide, and accordingly GST will be charged and accordingly input tax credit will be claimed. That is what is the thing we have already covered. So इस सेशन में हम लोगों ने reconciliation से थोड़ा कुछ ऊपर हट करके प्रोविजन को एनालाइज करते हुए हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू फाइनलाइज द जीएसटी ऑडिट, हाउ वी कैन गेट द आइडिया अबाउट द वेरियस डेफिशिएंसीज, वो हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया. नाउ ऑन सर्टेन पॉइंट्स वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस. अभी तक जो भी हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया है, आर यू ओके विद दैट? सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर है क्या? आफ्टर दिस वेबिनार, आफ्टर दिस कोर्स, क्या आपकी स्किल्स में कुछ इंप्रूवमेंट हो रहा है क्या? ऑल्दो विल टेक द फीडबैक फ्रॉम यू, ओके, बट आर यू थिंकिंग दैट जब अब आप ऑडिट करोगे तो देयर इज सर्टेन डिफरेंसेस? आई नो नीलेश जी योर क्वेश्चन इज पेंडिंग एंड विल डिस्कस ऑन दैट एज वेल. हमको उस पर भी डिस्कस करना है. बहुत जल्द हम लोग नीलेश जी का क्वेश्चन लेने वाले हैं, बट उससे पहले कुछ और डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. चलो. यस. इंपॉर्टेंट एरिया फॉर द ऑडिटर, ये हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी कवर कर लिया है. आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू ब्रीफ अबाउट दैट. ओके, already we have covered these particular type of things, but I'm just going to brief this particular thing. For the auditor, the maintenance of books of accounts we need to check. What type of books of accounts we need to check? I have already shared the complete list of that books of accounts. Supply, हम लोगों ने डिस्कस कर लिया, सेक्शन 7 ऑफ सीजीएसटी एक्ट. टाइम एंड प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई आल्सो प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. वैल्यू ऑफ सप्लाई आल्सो प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. tax rate changes is a very important aspect. If there is any change in the tax rate on the product, in that case you should be very much careful, because कई बार क्या होता है, ड्यू टू डेफिशिएंसी नॉलेज, कई बार नॉलेज की कमी होने की वजह से भी क्या होता है, रेट चेंज हुई मार्केट में, उसके पास में इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं थी, टैक्स पेयर हैज नो इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द रेट चेंज ऑन द स्पेसिफिक प्रोडक्ट, एंड दैट पर्सन इज गोइंग टू चार्ज द ओल्ड रेट. In that case there will be a chances of the revenue leakages. So when you will do the analysis of the nature of the industry, जब आप उस इंडस्ट्री के नेचर का एनालिसिस कर रहे हो, at the same time you just need to confirm what type of product and services, and you also need to confirm that there is any change in the rate of that particular product or services in near future. अगर ऐसा कुछ changes हुआ है, in that case we have to check that thing very carefully कि उसका प्रोडक्ट क्या है, उसके ऊपर क्या रेट एप्लीकेबल होनी चाहिए, और what type of rate that particular person is going to charge, that we need to ensure. आईटीसी, रिवर्स चार्ज मैकेनिज्म और रिफंड, इनपुट के प्रोस्पेक्टिव से क्या चेक करना है, सेक्शन नंबर 16 सबसेक्शन 2 वी हैव ऑलरेडी डन. The reverse charge mechanism related concept, IGST, CGST, SGST, the section number 9 में specific goods and specific services, GST has already been charged or not under reverse charge mechanism. We are going to verify in case of import of services, if there is any foreign का outward remittance you found in the capital account, in that case you should be very much careful and check the same from that perspective. Also, the most important thing, which is law, circular and clarification while doing the matter or while doing the audit. If there is any issue, any matter, any subject on which there is doubt, in that case we have to take the reference of various circular, various notifications, various clarifications issued by the CBIC on time to time. Okay, although we are working on that, very soon we are going to release our one more book on the simplified circular and clarification and notification by the CBIC. In that book you will get the complete charts of all the circulars, so that you can very easily access and understand each and every circular. Because होता क्या है, गवर्नमेंट जब सर्कुलर इश्यू करती है ना, उस सर्कुलर में लाइन तो अमेंडमेंट तो चेंजेस तो एक सिंगल लाइन का होता है, बट द सर्कुलर इज फॉर 3 पेजेस, 4 पेजेस, 5 पेजेस, और अपने को आता है जोर, मतलब वो पढ़ा नहीं जाता. दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम, एंड ड्यू टू टाइम इज ऑल्सो वन bottleneck. Okay, so from that perspective we have ready one book. Although that book is ready, so we are going to release that book very soon in the market, and you can also go through with that. Now important points to be take care, थोड़ा advertisement बीच बीच में करते रहना चाहिए. Important points to be take care while doing the finalizing the audit. क्या क्या बातें मेरे को ध्यान में रखनी है while finalizing the GST audit? So the first point and the foremost point, that I have to analyze the financial statements, because नेचर देख करके when you will analyze the financial statement, then this is my guarantee to you that you will get multiple things, you will get multiple insights from the analysis of the financial statements. Just give me a single second. बुक के डिस्काउंट के लिए actually price is decided by the company, so I am not able to do anything in that. But if you are from Mumbai, in that case I am coming to Mumbai on 11th of May. So if you require the book which is authored by me, in that case I may carry that book with me so that you can get the book from Mumbai itself, so that the transportation charges will be treated as discount. Okay. And also I have already shared the information with you that I am coming to Mumbai on 11th of May. I have certain events at Mumbai. So if you also want to meet with me related to discussion on any GST audit related matter, any practical issues, and if you want that we need to discuss with your team at your office, at your GST department, then I am ready. My 11th schedule is free for that. I have also received 2 to 3 slots. So if you want to meet with me, then we may do that as well. Okay. And this is completely free. There is no any charge for that. Now, analysis of financial statement. फर्स्ट एक्सपेंडिचर एनालिसिस. ओके. नाउ जब मैं बोल रहा हूं कि मुझे एक्सपेंडिचर एनालिसिस करना है, व्हेन आई हैव टू डू द एक्सपेंडिचर एनालिसिस, एट द सेम टाइम आई जस्ट नीड टू कंफर्म that expenditure analysis I have to do from two perspective. One is from input reversal perspective, another is from RCM perspective, because we all know that there is a specific list in section number 9 subsection 3 for the goods and for the services on which RCM is going to be applicable. And if there is any expenditure, suppose sales promotion expenditure, suppose advertisement expenditure, suppose there is any expenditure on account of losses related to fire and all those things are there, in that case input should be reversed. So whenever we'll found certain things in the financial statement, जब मैं मेरे ट्रेडिंग प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट को देख रहा हूं और मुझे अगर कोई ऐसा एक्सपेंडिचर दिख रहा है जिस पर इनपुट रिवर्स होनी चाहिए या फिर आरसीएम एप्लीकेबल होना चाहिए, in that case I just need to check that the reversal has already been done by the taxpayer or not, or the RCM has already been paid by the taxpayer or not. This is the thing I just need to ensure. From that income analysis, I have to check the profit and loss account, and in that income, if there is any rent related income, if there is any interest related income, if there is any incentive related income, if there is any commission related income, in that case I just need to ensure that taxpayer has paid GST on all these type of income or not. If there is any discount received, in that case also there is requirement to make the payment of the GST on that particular income. So ensure yourself. Next, analysis of the fixed assets we have already done. And fourth and the foremost thing, whatever will be the input tax credit closing balance which is shown in the books of accounts, that it is the audited financial statement, you just need to check that balance with the GST and common portal. That means GST credit ledger ka closing balance, and if there will be any difference between the input tax credit on GST and common portal and in the books of accounts, in that case you need to take the reconciliation of that. अगर उनका reconciliation आपका proper हो गया, in that case that means the output and input is perfect and all other reconciliations are perfect. Then after you just need to focus on the things which is related to the provision of law. उसके बाद में आपको reconciliation पे ज्यादा focus नहीं करना पड़ेगा if the input tax credit का closing balance is found reconciled. GST return analysis we have already done. Section number 16 subsection 2 का analysis हमारा day 1 में already हो गया. और if there is a difference in between the input tax credit ka closing balance on the GST and common portal and in the books of accounts, and in 90% cases you will found the difference. Okay. Now the point is that देयर इज सर्टेन रीजंस, हो सकता है मेरे जीएसटी पोर्टल पर मैंने जो इनपुट क्लेम की एज पर माय टू बी क्लेम किया, बुक्स में मेरी कोई इनपुट एक्स्ट्रा पड़ी होगी, ओके, देयर मे बी चांसेस जो इनपुट मेरी जीएसटी या टू बी में नहीं आई, मैंने उसको क्लेम नहीं किया, बट द सेम इज अवेलेबल इन माय बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स, दैट इज आल्सो वन रीजन फॉर द डिफरेंस। देयर मे बी चांसेस ऑफ एनी डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन द आउटपुट जो कि मैंने आगे जाकर के सही किए होंगे विद इन द टाइमलाइन ऑफ सेक्शन 16 सबसेक्शन 4। देयर मे बी चांसेस ऑफ सर्टेन इनपुट रिलेटेड एडजस्टमेंट जो मैंने विद इन द टाइमलाइन ऑफ सेक्शन 16 नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर में जाकर के किए होंगे। So from that perspective, I just need to demand the reconciliation. And if you will satisfied with the reconciliation, in that case, this is completely okay. So differences will be there. We just need to check the reason of the differences. Differences है इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि बहुत बड़ी कोई गड़बड़ है, डिफरेंस होना चाहिए, अगर डिफरेंस नहीं है तो गड़बड़ है। As per my opinion, difference should be there, but the proper reconciliation of the differences we need to check. Is that okay, Nilesh ji? Now, you also need to check that if the particular taxable person जिसकी आप ऑडिट कर रहे हो, if that person was earlier, that means last year, opted for composition scheme, and during the current year that person has opted for regular, that means this is your audit का year, कोई भी हो सकता है, this is your audit year and this is the last year to audit, okay. So last year that person has opted for the composition scheme, and during the current year that person has opted for the regular scheme and transfer the same. So in that case, while that person was under composition scheme, at that time that person was paying the output tax at a concessional rate, okay. That person is not going to pay at a higher rate, that person is going to make the payment of the taxes at a concessional rate and not claiming the input tax credit, okay. Now suppose now that person is going to convert himself as a regular person, so now that person is going to pay the taxes at a regular rate, and that person will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. Both the things are there. So whatever will be the goods which is there in the hand of that particular person as on 31st March, and whatever will be ITC on that particular goods, that person is eligible to claim now. That person is eligible to transfer that input tax credit in the electronic credit ledger, because from April onwards that person is going to make the payment of the taxes at a normal rate and claiming the input tax credit, okay. So now my point is that जो उसने input claim की है, you just need to satisfy yourself, you just need to satisfy yourself that this input is correct on the goods which is held on stock. For that purpose, how you are going to verify? You just need to demand, the complete list of goods, and you just need to verify, cross verify the same from the stock register, and then after you have to satisfy yourself about the input tax credit. कई बार क्या होता है, इस साल रेगुलर में, for this year जिस साल में हम ऑडिट कर रहे हैं, that person is in regular, we are going to check the reconciliation, we'll check the time of supply, place of supply, value of supply, and we'll finalize the audit. This is also one area on which we need to focus, that if there is any change, in that case we have to check that what about the input which is received from the last year due to the composition is as per the stock which is available in the hand. कहीं उसने कोई गलत आईटीसी तो यहाँ पर ट्रांसफर नहीं कर ली है. Also we need to check that the same is tally with the stock register. Now take the next scenario. Suppose last year, that means audit say last year, that person was regular. During the current year, that means your audit wala year, that person is composition, under composition. In that case, last year that person was eligible to claim the input tax credit, but in current year, that means the audit year, in this year that person is not eligible to claim any input tax credit because that person has opted for the composition scheme. Now whatever will be the stock which is there in the hand as on 31st March, that person has to reverse the input tax credit. For that purpose, again you need to demand the stock list on which that person has reversed the input tax credit and cross tally the same with the stock register. That is your duty, and satisfy yourself about the reversal amount. And this, if there will be any excess reversal or less reversal, in that case this is a issue and we need to report the same in our audit. So this concept of composition to regular and regular to composition is okay for everyone. section number 18 of CGST Act is also dealing with this concept. Okay, there are certain other concepts are also there. Suppose उसने जिस साल आप ऑडिट कर रहे हो, सपोज यू आर डूइंग द ऑडिट फॉर फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2021 एंड दैट पर्सन हैज टेकन द रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑन 30th अप्रैल 2020, दैट मींस उसी साल उस बंदे ने रजिस्ट्रेशन लिया है. That person has taken the GST registration on 30th April itself. In that case, you just need to ensure if that person has taken the GST registration within 30 days. In that case, we all know that that person is eligible to claim the input tax credit on the goods which is held on record as on the date of liability. So in that case, we just need to demand the list of goods on which the input tax credit is claimed in case of new registration, and cross tally the same with the stock register. This we need to do in case of new registration as well, in case of composition to regular, in case of regular to composition, in case of exempted project to taxable, in case of taxable to exempted. These are the scenario. In that case, we have to check the ITC reversal and ITC claim very carefully in case of new registration, in case of exempted to taxable, in case of taxable to exempted, in case of regular to composition, and in case of composition to regular. चीज क्या चेक करनी है? What the things we need to check? जो हम लोगों ने यहाँ पर composition to regular में डिस्कस की, the same things we need to check in all each and every situation. Each and every situation में we need to check the same things. Same things in each and every situation. GSTR1 में we are not putting any details in the GSTR1 return related to inventory. You are asking the question that in case of stock register, they are showing different goods in the stock register, and when we check the GSTR1 return, the different goods is there. ये कहना चाह रहे हैं आप? तब तक आई नीड टू रीड द क्वेरी ऑफ नीलेश जी, बहुत ऊपर चली गई है. So Nilesh ji, as per your query related to the prices of the stock and the selling price and all those things, in that case the valuation should be as per valuation rules, because these rules are only for that prospective purposes. That is rule number 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. You can refer that particular rule. If there is any specific situation, in that case we'll decide the value as per the specific rules given in the section, in the provisions. And if there is no any specific situation, in that case we are going to decide through the normal provisions. Also, if you require more detailed discussion on that, you need to provide me certain more detail, that means details related to the specific situation. You may provide the same over my WhatsApp. We'll discuss over call. We may join through the video, and we may join through the Zoom and discuss on that issue. But basically, you need to do it through the valuation rules. Okay. For further guidance, I just require the proper document for that respect. Is that okay? For trade payables, Tanisha ji, for trade payables, you just need to check the balance sheet. Whatever will be the trade payables that is creditors is there, You just need to demand the ledger of that trade creditors and also list of that trade creditors, and also you need to demand the age wise trade creditors, so that you can easily decide what will be the relevance of reversal of input tax credit in case of non payment to the creditors within 180 days. Is that okay, Tanisha ji? Okay, so this is all from my side for the session. Now I have one IT tool, one important tool for the reconciliation of input tax credit, which is useful for the GST officers. So I'm just going to discuss for 2 to 3 minutes related to that particular input reconciliation tool. We have developed this specific tool for the GST officers and the departmental authority. Taxpayer can also use this specific tool. This tool is only for the reconciliation of input tax credit from GSTR 2B and the books of accounts. There is one biggest problem is there, that how we can reconcile the GSTR 2B and books of accounts. Now one also problem is that while doing the GST audit, मुझे कुछ analytical skills काम में लेनी होती है. I have to use certain analytical skills, because without analytical skills I cannot find out the sample, because this audit is based on the sample. So we have included certain things in this specific tool as well, जो आपको गाइड करेगा कि कहां पर दिक्कत है, क्या आपको चेक करना है, कौन सी चीज आपको चेक करनी है from more focused perspective. So now this is the first step. There are certain tabs are there. First one is my reconciliation. You just need to select the period, and whatever type of period you are going to select, you will get the reconciliation. Okay, here is the result. If you want to check कि कौन सा ऐसा डेटा है जिसमें इनवॉइस डेट पार्टी ने गलत फीड की है, उस टैक्स पेयर ने रॉन्ग फीड की है, in that case you just need to click on the invoice date mismatch. You will find out all the invoices on which the taxpayer has mentioned the wrong date, so that this is the indication of the internal control. Next, if you want to check that invoice number कितने पे उसने गलत पुट किए हैं, in that case you can easily get that invoice number as per the books of account is 243, and here is the GSTN portal का invoice number. You can also check the invoice number of GSTN portal. As per GSTN portal, the invoice number is 30GT. So through that exercise, we can easily identify and analyze the internal control of that particular entity, and you can also get the number of invoices in which there is mismatch. Also, if there is any invoice value mismatch, you will get here. If there is any not in party related data, जैसे 152 records are there which is not available on the GSTN common portal. So for that purpose, input is not allowed. You can easily get this particular thing. If you want to check the data which is not available on GSTN government portal, you can take the same through this particular thing. And if you want to check any tax related mismatch, in that case you will get the tax related mismatch. That means CGST, SGST, IGST as per portal 25,000, as per books of account 24,500. There is a difference of 500 rupees. You will get this detail as well. So this is the detailed reconciliation. Now if you just want to check the consolidated amount, that whatever will be the input tax credit which is available to that particular person, you can easily get the particular data as well. So this is the eligible input tax credit. This is the input tax credit which is not available on the GSTN common portal, and this is the input tax credit which is available on GSTN common portal but not available in the books of accounts. You can easily get the figure. Now if you want to check that from this particular party कितना उसने amount buy किया है, कितना उसने goods buy किया है, suppose I want to know that Rishabh Impacts is the biggest supplier of that particular person. I just need to click on Rishabh Impacts. All the invoices of Rishabh Impacts for the respective period is there in this tab. You can easily track. इससे होगा क्या, you can easily identify कि वो किसी एक ही बंदे से कितना goods frequently buy कर रहा है. There is any chances of fake invoicing, there is any chances of fake per transaction. You can easily track the same, और उससे related all the invoices will be available. Now if you want to check visually reconcile, मतलब आपको केवल देखना है मोटा मोटी ये पार्टी कैसी है, you just want to check the nature of that particular party, then there is certain dot related indications are there. If there is red dot, that is orange dot, in that case all the things are matched. So in this situation, more orange dots are there, that means the party data is good. Now if there is any blue dot, that means text mismatch, there is a mismatch of the text as well. Okay, so this is the thing you can do through this particular tool. You can reconcile the thing, and this is not for a specific period. You can reconcile for 5 year, for 7 year, for 10 year. Okay, and consolidated data will also be there. If you want to analyze a specific party, you can uh, easily analyze. If you want to check the visual reconciliations, that means you just want to check that this party internal control is strict or not, you can also check. This the source of data for this particular software is that once you need to get the file, that is the GSTR2A written or to be written from the software generated of the client, you just need to demand that Excel sheet, and you need to download the GSTR2B from the GSTN common portal. For all the officers it is available. So you just need to put these two files to the D drive of the system. You just need to put the file in D drive of the system data. One is portal, another is record, and you just need to click on the refresh. There is one button is there, refresh. As soon as you will click on the refresh button, the complete data which is there on that particular file will be refreshed. और यहाँ पर आप मल्टीपल पार्टीज के लिए कर सकते हो, बिकॉज जीएसटी ऑफिसर के लिए ये पॉसिबल नहीं है कि वो हर पार्टी के लिए नया कोई टूल बाय करेगा. Hence we have framed this specific tool for multiple users. You just need to put new file, new reconciliation will be there. You just need to put new file, new reconciliation will be there, and you can use it everywhere, anywhere, anytime, anywhere. This is just on cloud basis. Okay, so this is just a tool, and this is just information from my side. So in these 2 days session, we have covered the GST audit finalization and revenue finding techniques. We have started our discussion from the initial of the audit. We have also discussed on certain concept related to value of supply, place of supply, time of supply, how we can identify the revenue leakages in this segment. We have also covered various type of reconciliation between the GSTR 3B, GSTR 1, 2B and 3B books, and GSTR 1, 3B, 2B, and the various rules related to the reconciliations and the relevant things. All the things we have covered. Okay, for buying this tool, you just need to text over this message, this number. You just need to click or text on this particular WhatsApp number. There is one specific offer by the company that if you are going to buy this tool as on the date of the session, that means if you are going to buy the tool as on the date of the session, then there is a discount on this specific tool. This is unlimited use. Okay, the actual price of this tool is 7,000 rupees, but as on the date of the session, the price will be 4,000 rupees. Okay, if you will buy it on today, then the price will be 4,000 rupees, unlimited use and for unlimited period. This is cloud based tool built on the Power BI software. Okay, you will get the complete support of the team, and you will get the ID and password of the tool. You can easily put the particular thing. Okay, so the price for today is 4,000 rupees. There will be certain updations. Okay, agar kuch chote updations honge, then company will not going to charge anything from you. But if they are going to include certain more things in that case, there may be chances that certain extra amount will be charged, but updation will be completely depend on you. If you just want to use this tool for the reconciliation purpose, for the party analysis and purchase analysis purpose, in that case you can easily do the same. Okay, now if you want to know more, in that case I have provided you the number of my team member. You just need to connect over that 94602 36167. Okay, you just need to text over there. That person will share you the link of that particular tool. Okay, now जो भी हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया, that is related to the GST audit finalization and revenue audit finding. If you have any question, any doubt, any query, in that case please put the same in the chat box. And if there is no any query or question is pending, in that case I just expect your valuable feedbacks in the chat box. Although you will receive the the feedback form over your WhatsApp number, after feeding that the feedback over the WhatsApp, you will get one exciting downloaded e-file for your references as well. Okay, so now I'm requesting everyone to provide your valuable feedback for the particular course. Are you satisfied? Are you इंजॉइंग द कॉन्सेप्ट्स, आप लोगों को कुछ बोर तो नहीं हुआ और आप लोगों के लिए सेशन यूजफुल होगा, उससे रिलेटेड आई जस्ट वांट योर वैल्यूएबल फीडबैक्स इन द चैट बॉक्स. For the you just need to write your feedback in the chat box, and over your WhatsApp number you will get one link on which you need to provide your feedback. Okay. आफ्टर वेरिफिकेशन, आफ्टर वेरिफिकेशन अगर वहां पर ऐसा होता है कि tax is less paid, in that case first you need to intimate. Okay, in case of intimation, first on account of intimation, if that person is going to make the payment of the taxes, in that case no penalty will be liable within 30 days. In that case also no penalty will be liable. After that penalty will be liable. Okay, so section will be 73 will be applicable, and accordingly the penalty will be charged. 10% tax amount whichever is higher, and all those things are there. For that purpose you may refer the rule number section number 73 of CGST Act. Yes, penalty will be charged if the tax is not paid within after 30 days from the date of the notice. Yes, you will get the recordings as well. The complete recording will be shared within 1 to 2 days. Most probably recording will be shared by the Tuesday. Okay, and you will also get the certificate. Yes, अगर कोई वो पेमेंट टैक्स का पेमेंट नहीं कर रहा है, in that case penalty will be applicable. But if that person is going to make the payment within 30 days from the notice, in that case no penalty will be there. This is you are going to refer from the section number 73 subsection 11, that is self-assessed tax. Okay, but I suppose first we need to do that. Then after self assess, that means अगर उसने कोई टैक्स वहां पर कलेक्ट कर लिया और आफ्टर अगर वो वहां पर उसका जाकर के पेमेंट नहीं करता है, in that case there will be specific situation. In that case direct section 73 subsection 11 will be applicable. I know very well, but I suppose that we should follow that rule. 10% or 10,000 tax का amount whichever is higher वाला concept. Yes, you will receive this PDF file definitely over your registered mail ID, although you have already received the PDF file. Is that okay, Deshmukh ji? I suppose for the favorable decision we just need to follow that particular thing. Or if you want to follow that उसने tax collect किया और tax का payment नहीं किया, in that case you may go with section number 73 subsection 11 वाला point with penalty. So I just request everyone, if possible, please provide your valuable feedbacks. And if there is any question is pending, in that case, please put the same in the chat box. You may raise the questions over WhatsApp and you may discuss with me. There is no issue with that as well. I suppose there is no any question is pending. And if you want to buy that particular IT tool, in that case, you just need to comment over that WhatsApp number, which I have already shared, so that all the relevant details you will receive over your WhatsApp as well. So thank you everyone, and we'll meet you soon in any other session, in any other program, in any other event, in any other webinar. Okay. And physically, if you want to meet, I'm coming to Mumbai on 11th. Okay. Yes, there is already recorded videos are there on that particular IT tool. If you want to check, you just need to text over that particular WhatsApp number. He will share with you the complete recording, complete video with you as well. Okay. So I suppose there is no any question is pending. You will get this recording as well. अगर किसी को PDF नहीं मिली है, we'll share with you again. Okay. So thank you everyone, and thank you for joining this session. Thank you spending this Sunday with me, this Saturday and Sunday with me. We'll meet you soon in another webinar and event. Thank you everyone. Bye bye. Good night.